Oh, welcome to A Pinch of Basile. I am your host with the most. I am Basile. How's everyone doing? God, I hope you all are doing okay. I really mean that with all sincerity. I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Janice Hermson. And how could we do this without my wonderful chief engineer, Christian Meyer, who I just found out some interesting news about him that he's got a thing for me. So I'm just saying.
It's just the shirt today. That's all.
Is that all it is? You give him a striped shirt, he's yours, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm
Christian
say.
is such a good sport. Gosh.
Don't forget,
if you were here, he'd be smacking you around.
we do live stream on Facebook. You can also listen to me on the TuneIn app on any phone or device. Once you have the app, just search America Matters. And if you're on the computer, go to americamatters.us. We want to hear from your comments. We want to, just go to Basile Fans page on Facebook. That's right, Basile Fans. BASILEFANS. Like us, watch us like a lot of people are. Faye is here. Janice is here. I got Jeff is here. We got people starting to watch already, so come join us all over the world. And if you have any questions, just give us a call at 844-790-8255, 844-790-8255. And you can also text us. Janice, what's that number?
That is 775-237-2266.
And don't forget, we are heard around the world, especially including Greek Beat Radio.
Greek Beats Radio. Beats Radio.
And that goes all around the world. It goes through Australia, all the way through Europe. That's right. We're in the UK. We are in all over. Man, Germany, Cyprus, Greece, France, everywhere around there. North America, South America. And let's not forget, we are also in South Africa. That's right. We got fans coming in from all over. Thank you so much for Friday nights as well when you watch the Basile Fun Hour that we do every time at 9 p.m.
Such a fun hour.
Say that again?
Such a fun hour.
You know what? It's crazy, but, it's a little bit nuts. We know people around the world are watching, and you're in your homes right now. You've gone crazy. You've been with your children. You've been with your spouses, and that's enough. It'd be quite enough. That is enough. I've had it. I'm done. This whole marriage thing is completely out the window. I don't need this. I really don't need this. If it wasn't for me being so attached to the stuff I have in my garage, Janice, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Listen, for those of you on a serious note, dealing with the coronavirus and dealing with being stuck at home, we want to hear from you. What are you guys doing to basically go ahead and, pass the time? On a serious note, what the hell are you people doing? Janice, what are you doing?
I still work. See, we're called essential, so I'm still working every day. And what can I say? It's a little different for me. And I was thinking about that today, if I can interrupt a little. I was thinking how maybe I can't. Coronavirus
Yeah, you want me to take over? Okay, well, Janice is having a choking fit. But
oh,
okay,
my
sweetheart?
goodness. I'm just fine. That was weird. It's the studio. I don't know what it is that's in the studio, but it always seems to get me. But I was thinking about the fact that people like me, my day is pretty much the same. I'm still going to work. I'm still, a little different hours, a little shorter hours, but I'm still working. A lot of people aren't. So we're in a whole different worlds. And when we all come back together, they're going to be all rested. We're still the same.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny. I've kind of switched gears too because we've lost a lot of our gigs that we do around the world. Because I work, like I said, exclusively with the Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, which will be back. I guess May 12th. We start back up again. And but the thing is, I kind of switch gears. You have to switch gears. I'm working on a script right now. I'm working on the TV show, and there's another show that I've been asked to go ahead and start developing that we're doing. So I'm actually excited about that as well. But I'll tell you what, the whole thing, a lot of you are going crazy. You have no idea what the hell you're doing. And to be honest with you, I feel for you. I really understand. At least I have the opportunity to go to my office, do what I want to do, and you know what? It's great. If I can craft a couple of pages a day, writing a script, which is kind of difficult to do on this particular script, That's what you got to do. I deal with my investors. I have to talk to them, let them know what's going on. I deal with the
You're
company.
Lucky they're still
Equinox.
there.
Say again.
You're lucky they're still there.
Yeah,
right?
Thank God. I better come through with some big money for these guys. So we've actually done well, but I am a little bit nervous with what's going on. Next week, I have a wonderful guest coming on. Dr. Stephanie Thomas from the Cleveland Clinic will be with us. She is the juvenile oncology person who's the head of that department, I believe, and she'll be coming on not only letting us know about things in cancer and what's going on, but also the coronavirus and how it's affecting everyone and how it can affect. So we're really excited about having her as well. And as far as what's happening right now around the world, and Christian, I hope on a serious note, you guys and your family are well. As to all of our listeners and our reviewers, I hope that everyone is doing well. If you do have a story, if you want to pass your time, please, in the next segment, we're going to open it up to you. I want to hear your questions. Again, 844-790-8255. Again, that text, give me that text number one more time, Janice.
It is 775-237-2266. And Elena, we do want to hear from you. We want to hear from everybody about what you're doing and what everybody's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Please call in. Let us know what's happening. And I got to tell you, I'm really happy that we have great partners like Greek Beat Radio.
Greek Beats Radio. Beats Radio. Beats Radio. Beats Radio.
It's like second nature that Christian knows I'm going to do that any moment. Anyway, I want you to call us and let us know what you guys are doing. You can also send the questions via Facebook at Facebook Fans. If you're watching live right now, hey guys, how are you? So make sure you do that. But what we're going to do, we're going to be back. We're going to let you know about grants and what's happening right now for all of our citizens around the country. A lot of great programs that the president has put out. I want to make sure we talk about it. We'll be doing that right after these messages from all of our wonderful sponsors who are with us on A Pinch of Basile. We'll be right back.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ,
A Lotus broadcast station.
the power of radio since 1967.
Are you shy and don't want to talk on the air? Text us your questions or comments to 775-237-2266. Now back to the show.
Oh, we are indeed back. You're listening to Basile all around the world. And listen, we didn't really finish everything that we wanted to talk about. And we want to know about the various programs. A lot of people are asking questions about what grants are out there, Small Business Administration, the SBA loans that are out there as well that are available. There is new information that just came back. I have my bankers who cover for my company, for my various companies, Spice Rack Entertainment, BZK Productions, and they're sending me information as we go. Listen, there are programs out there. As a matter of fact, Janice, you and I were discussing that the SBA now has almost like a $10,000 type of a loan that's a forgivable.
That's actually a grant that you can sometimes. It depends, but there is the possibility of getting a $10,000 grant. They're saying in 3 days or less. I'm almost sorry they're saying that because my daughter works for a bank here. And although, of course, they're going to try to do that, boy, there's lots of logistics going on behind the scenes. So, but I will say that and it's not a huge bank, but their small bank was having a meeting about this on last Friday. So they were ready. Whoever put this together in the, back end from the SBA, they were ready and notifying the banks and having meetings and, telling them what was going on and how to manage this early on. So it just says a lot about. Normally, we don't talk real well about our government always, but I think that they should be commended for this.
Agreed. They were definitely Johnny on the spot this to come up with all this. And listen, folks, I'm sure it's been in the background working as we were getting the information about the coronavirus and say, hey, we better be able to protect our citizens. And that's exactly what they're doing. I have a lot of kudos to the Trump administration. I don't care what politics you work with or whatever. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I think that this is such a unique situation. We are in uncharted territory. At least we knew when there was a war that we all had to get together and fight, and we're going to save our metal and save the rubber that we have on our tires and do it. This is something that's unprecedented.
Yeah.
This is something that we've never faced before. So right now, what we got something that's unique, and at least this administration has put out information. Try that, that was a $2 trillion program.
Yes,
that's unbelievable.
It is.
That's never been. And what's going to be great though is the economy will bounce back because it's not brought on by any type of
right. It should once we can all be released from hospital, whatever.
If we can just get out of the damn house, that's all I'm saying. Just get out of the damn house. Can I ask a question? And Janice, I'm asking all those people: is the sex any better when you're put together under
only
these tense
you,
situations?
Basil, only you. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just me that the sex
why
is that
don't
good?
you answer that question?
It's phenomenal, and thank God for nylon rope and gags. That's all I'm going to say. On that note, I think what needs to be done is there's got to be something to pass our time. I mean, I taught my kids how to play Monopoly. They won't play with me anymore because they say I rub it in their face all the time when I win.
My grandmother used to cheat.
In Monopoly?
Oh, at everything. We played canasta. And if we won, she told us we cheated. She would point her finger and say, "You cheated. You can't win. You cheated." She was feisty. She was very feisty. That was my grandma on my dad's side. Yeah. Feisty
oh my
lady.
Gosh. It's great to have those stories about grandparents and stuff like that, but I want to get back.
I was going to say, on a serious note, just real quickly, I'm going to go ahead and post the CARES Act, which is from one of our vendors from our company that sent it to us. So ignore, any whatever that might be in the background. But it's really it's put together nicely, and I think they did a good job on that. So I wanted to share that with everybody. Okay.
That's great. And for those of you, even if you're self-employed, you don't have employees, if you are a nonprofit, if you are whatever the case may be, these new regs and actual rules that have come up have really covered just about everything for the layman. Look, some of this stuff is difficult for me to even read, but I'll tell you, for the layman, you can actually find out what you qualify for, what you don't qualify for, even unemployment, right now that's available for people. Hey, take the time, read on the question.
Got nothing else to do.
Yeah, you got nothing else to do.
Well, not only that, but it's just that it's something that they've never done before, and it's providing. I don't know. I just am amazed, I guess, that it's providing such good backup and kind of a comfort zone so that you can breathe a little bit and stay home, right? Otherwise, you're going to want to be going out and doing things. And we're getting a lot of feedback here, Basil, so when you get a chance, we should probably answer some of the
Okay,
folks.
No one plays Monopoly at suicide. It's funny from Sarah Sully. Thank you. Thanks, Sarah. I appreciate that. It's not suicide unless you play with Janice's grandmother.
Yes, that's right. It's very true. She also did you see in Cyprus we're in lockdown, but it's worth it. We need to fill in forms to get to work and back and have our ID papers. But yesterday we can't go out from 9 p.m. till 6 p.m. So they're really in lockdown.
Wow. Yeah, here in North Carolina, we're on lockdown unless, again, you are needed. You're an essential service. Right. I believe it or not, I qualify for essential service because I do stuff with the media as well. And so I get the opportunity to come back and forth to my office. But to be quite honest with you, I came here at about 9 o'clock this morning and have not left. And it's right now about, about 6:30.
Right.
And
Ted said, "Hey guys, hope you are well and staying safe. We're here in New York City, have been housebound for nearly 3 weeks. It's surreal. The streets are empty. I've never seen anything like it. What we wouldn't give for some traffic on the LIE, and I'm sure I just don't know what that is right about now.
It's the Long Island Expressway.
See, that's what happens when you've never been to New York.
No, actually, I mean, listen, I used to drive the LIE when I came back from school after getting beat up in football. I worked construction, so I used to drive from Copeg, Long Island, into the city with the 1969 International Harvester flatbed truck with a bunch of new brick and then taking back a bunch of old. And it was crazy. I mean, it's the largest, Long Island is always referred to as the largest bedroom suburb. So people would go back and forth into the city, then come back into the island to live. It's always been crazy. Again, what are you guys doing to pass the time away? Are you with your kids?
Yeah, Elena says that Bruce cleaned out his side of the closet. It's about time.
Well, first of all, Elena, I think Bruce should have his own damn closet, to be quite honest with you. I've seen your wardrobe, and I think there is a lot to be done.
Elena, don't let him get away with that.
I've been talking all day to her today, for God's sakes. We had a wonderful conversation. We really did. And she's a wonderful lady, and I really enjoy talking with her. She was a lot of fun. And I'll tell you what, it's actually interesting. Some of the people, some of the friends of mine and cousins that are married for as long as I have been are telling me some of the stuff that they're doing, with their wives. And I think that's really great, and their husbands, and to be able to do that. But to be home with the kids, I know some people are going crazy, but I don't know. I just don't know, to be honest with you. But we got to do more. I don't know what you guys do at your home. Have you been just reading books and going through some stuff? What have you been doing?
Me, I'm working. Yeah. We're editing. We brought in all those books last month from the store that closed. Oh yeah. So we're stocking shelves and organizing and alphabetizing. So it's been, in a way, you kind of say, well, you hate to say this, but boy, how nice, because now moving things around, when you have people coming in and browsing, you have to be considerate of that. Now we can kind of put the boxes wherever, pull things off the shelf, so, we're trying to look on the bright side, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to do whatever you can. And, before we even break for our next break, I got to tell you, a shout out to all personnel, police, 911 dispatchers, fire departments, for all the people who work in the health industry, doctors, nurses, for everyone, ambulance drivers, federal government employees that are up all hours trying to figure out what to do, how they can help. Am I missing anyone, Janice? The truck drivers are bringing food from the West Coast to the East and the East to the West.
You know who they talked about on one of the shows, respiratory therapists, and you forget that those are the people that are, for the worst cases, they're the ones that are really keeping them alive and getting them better, And from personal experience, not myself, but my husband has been on a ventilator, and it's just daunting to watch. Yeah. And when they can bring them out, oh man, that's awesome. And they work hard. They work very hard at it. So, God bless them. Honest, that's all I can say.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. There's no two ways about it. I got to admit that anyone who works in the health industry right now, I got good friends of mine, Dr. Paul Kamitska, who I try to get, who is the infectious disease control doctor and happens to be my personal physician. We try to get him on. I mean, the poor man has been basically at the hospital. Not only does he have to do his work taking patients on, but he's also at the hospital at night. I mean, this poor man is burning the candle at both ends. We try to get him on. Just so difficult. And he's the big shot here in New Hanover County in North Carolina. So
Sarah says, and the food providers, and she also says that she's been watching Basile smoking cigars on his veranda. So there you go.
Yeah, I didn't even know I had a veranda until someone said
there you go. You got a veranda.
So anyway, listen, folks. Next break, we're going to have a little bit of fun, goof off a little bit. You can join on that, too. Don't forget to call us at 844-790-8255. And we'll be right back after these messages. Basile all over the world coming back after these messages from our sponsors. Catch you then on the Pinch of Basile.
Now, back to the show.
Oh, we are indeed back here on the Pinch of Basile. I am your wonderful host, Basile. You can call us at 844-790-8255. And if you want to chime in, that includes our audience from Greek Beat Radio.
Oh, you caught me off guard. Hold on. It's coming. It's coming. Here we go.
It's a touchdown.
Greek Beat Radio.
There we go.
I love my fans throughout the UK and all through Europe. I'm telling you, we got our fans throughout the UK. We got our fans in France. We got our fans in Germany. We got our fans in, oh my God, in Cyprus and in Greece. And, listen.
Everywhere.
Come on, join us, really. I mean, it's always a lot of fun. There's a couple of things. I guess you want to do something different. You said you want to switch something up.
I think that everybody's talking about, what they're doing and the fact that they're kind of stuck in their houses. And, even we get out, we're not totally locked down. We've been locked down for 2 weeks now, Christian. Yeah. And for sure 2 more. I would guess it's going to go beyond that. I would hope, actually, because I'd rather flatten the curve. I'm with everybody that says that. So I thought I pulled up this lovely thing of things to do in isolation with kids of all ages. And since I know you're a kid at heart, Basile, I figured this would be great for you. Are you ready? Well, I gave you one sample. I gave you number 99. Did you read number 99?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
You don't like that one?
Yeah, I'm just a huge fan of Marshmallows.
Doing that?
Yeah.
You're picturing, see who can build the tallest tower or longest bridge out of marshmallows and dry spaghetti. That's an interesting, I've built lots of things, but I usually, I like to do House of Cards, right? Those are fun. Mm-hmm. But, marshmallows and, I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
There was a challenge one time years ago that I did with Zacharula, my oldest daughter, and it was to build a bridge out of balsam wood. And it could not be thicker than they give you dimensions, but it can't be thicker than or whatever.
Right.
And they were trying to show the strength of a triangle, a structural triangle, and to create a bridge no longer than 18 inches or 24 inches, and to see if you can go ahead and create this, this bridge and how much weight it can hold. That was a challenge to me.
Yeah,
out of balsam wood, because I think ours.
Go ahead.
No, I think ours held, and I can't remember, and Zach will probably be more in tune. Hopefully, if she's watching, she can tell me. But I want to say it's probably around 9 pounds that we held. 9 pounds. I think we held a 9-pound bowling ball, which is pretty good because something was 18 inches made out of balsa wood.
Yeah,
and it the triangles were keeping structurally stuff safe. It was really a cool thing to do. Or go ahead, tell me some of the other ones.
Well, no, I just wanted to let you know that maybe while you're doing that, Ted suggests that maybe we can braid your hair.
No. This is staying just the way it is. I have enough issues. I have more mousse in my hair than Bullwinkle. All right? Just leave my hair alone. It's nice and uniform right now.
Well, did you ever like to build tents or anything like that? Or how about building a fort out of couch cushions? You and your wife can do this. Build a fort out of couch cushions, furniture, and blankets. And then they also suggest like this super cool fort kit, because this is for kids of all ages, right? So,
you know what? I used to teach my girls when they would build, with blocks, and they'd always try and put the blocks on the carpet, and the blocks would always topple. I said, no, first you got to make the foundation, then you got, and to this day, my kids still remember that. They would sit there and go, first you got to put the foundation, and then when they start building their own stuff, I would cross-dress Ken in all the Barbie clothes.
I'll bet they love that.
Oh yeah, they still have horror.
So here's the next one that we're all going to picture Basile doing. He's going to draw on the driveway with chalk, right? Picture this.
No, it's not going to happen.
You can do you can do hopscotch afterwards.
That's right. I love that. That's perfect, Christian. And then you play hopscotch.
Unless I could draw stick figures, no, that ain't happening.
Oh, come on.
Oh, my God, I'm terrible at drawing. I really am. The one who really took to it is Zacharula, my eldest. Katarina's the one who has the talent in singing. Zacharula has the talent to go ahead and create and draw stuff. That was just always unbelievable. Not
doing it, huh?
No, can't do the
So don't
thing
forget
either.
Out there, if you have some suggestions of things that we should be doing while we're in isolation, we're open to that. Here's a really bad idea. Deep clean your house as a family. Have you ever cleaned your house as a family? I have. And I throw them all out. All right? Deep clean your house as a family. No.
No.
That just sounds like work.
I don't want to. The only family time I want to have, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and then the other 363 days, as far as I'm concerned, I don't really care.
You don't care about that, huh? All right. Well, and here's an interesting one. And the person that wrote this says, I don't mean to trivialize the situation and what's going on, but with kids, we also want to keep them calm and free of anxiety. So they're suggesting to make a souvenir, make a toilet paper themed craft to commemorate all the toilet paper craziness in the U.S. I actually think that's kind of a cute idea.
Have you all lost your mind? Unless you want that project to be used to wipe my rear end. No, you do not take the one thing that people have hoarded to make some type.
Yeah, but
let's make a paper mache army. No, it's not going to. No, hell no.
They're going to have so much left that they're going to have to make souvenirs out of it because everybody has taken and hoarded so much of it. Right? I mean, come on.
I listen, my toilet paper it's a very precious thing in my household. I'm just going to say that. It's very precious. I'm not going to give up my toilet paper. And if my kids ever take my toilet paper, there is nothing funnier to hear my daughter or my wife or even me screaming out, someone get me toilet paper! Because I purposely will not get them toilet paper just to see them suffer. To me, that's funny.
Well, here's a good story for you. I have a grandchild that would go into the bathroom and then find that Grandma didn't put enough toilet paper in there, and she would text everybody. A group text. I need toilet paper. She didn't scream. She texted. That's terrible. So now her name is Emma, so now I put and when they're coming over, I put at least 6 or 7 rolls of toilet paper in the bathroom. God. And I say, I've Emmatized the bathroom.
You Emmatize it. That's
I
funny.
did.
I mean, have you had issues before with I don't know, people for Facebook, are you guys having issues with your toilet paper? I just want to make sure. Are you guys have enough? Is there enough toilet paper going around, or is there still people hoarding TP?
Last I heard, we're struggling. I'm seeing things on Nextdoor that say that people don't have toilet paper. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Sanitizer. I can't find hand sanitizer.
There's a printer here in town that's doing sanitizer. They're printing business names on sanitizer. They're being inventive, right?
Oh, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of creative. It's a competitor, but I still think they were creative.
No, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
I actually like going to some of these places. Is it Bed Bath? It's not Bed Bath and Beyond. It's Bathworks. Is it Bathworks that has the
Bath and Body Works?
I was going to say Bath and Body.
Body. Okay, where they used to have those small little containers they used to squirt and use it on your hand. I used to have like 3 of those in my car, and I just can't find them anymore. I would squeeze real quick.
Yeah, Ted says that there are empty shelves everywhere in New York City. No toilet paper to be found. I can send you some, Ted.
Yes, she can. And it'll be molded into the Statue of Liberty. So make sure you come and get some of that. Okay.
It'll be Emmatized.
I'm sure your
poor
granddaughter
grandbaby.
loves you for bringing all this up. Let me see. Joyce Cosmas says, toilet paper in Baltimore either.
I can send you too.
How can you not have toilet paper? You don't have any toilet paper in Balto, for God's sakes? Come on. You got to have something out there.
They're hoarding. People are hoarding. It's crazy. It makes no sense.
I can't believe it.
I know. It doesn't make sense. It's not like we're not going to have it.
Well, evidently some people, let me see, Christina Thomas, I want to 5 stores, and she couldn't find toilet paper except for one box of 45 rolls. She goes, I'm one person.
Because, Christina, you need to sell them to other people.
You could do sculptures, for God's sakes. Yes, do the 45 rolls into big sculpture.
Yeah.
You know what would be fun? I saw a real funny, someone sent this to me, that these guys were playing poker and they were using toilet paper as the chips.
Yes.
I love that. To me, that was hysterical.
That one went around.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, your grandkids, number 9, it's not a bad idea. I may want to try that with the spaghetti and the marshmallows.
Yeah.
I think that might be something. And see, if you guys can create something, here's what we can do.
Oh,
if you guys can create something at your home with spaghetti and marshmallows.
Yes.
Send it to us.
The tallest tower or the longest bridge. One of the two. So,
create something, and I will send you a whole library of all the Basile DVDs, CDs, and everything, a T-shirt. We'll put it all together and send it to you. Just go ahead and do that, and we'll figure out a place where people can go ahead and send that to, all that information. But I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Oh, no, they can't post it on Basile Fans, can they?
Well, they can. No, they can. They could let it.
All right, take us out.
But listen, folks, what we're going to do, we're going to be right back after these messages from our wonderful sponsors who I love so much. You're listening to A Pinch of Basile.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ.
A Lotus broadcast station.
The power of radio since 1967.
Unable to listen to the whole show? A recording of today's program will be available later today. Visit americamatters.us and click on the podcast link. Now, back to the show.
Oh, so glad you can join us on A Pinch of Basile. If you have any questions for me, just give us a call at 844-790-8255. That's 844-790-8255. This segment can be a continuation of the above, so we can just ask the audience. And I probably wasn't supposed to read that, but I get lost once in a while. But anyway, listen, I want to make sure that you guys are indeed listening. And come on back.
We weren't listening to you. It's okay.
We got a lot of fun stuff going on. Go ahead, Janice.
I said we weren't listening to you. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay, evidently. All right, we'll just cross that out. And also, you can text us, folks. Text us whatever questions you may have. Janice, give us that text number.
That is 775-237-2266. And do it right now.
Absolutely. Hey, another shout-out that I want to give, Maria Jacobs, who was actually on our guest last week. Simply a wonderful guest, a very extremely talented jazz singer who's a superstar in my eyes. I think she's great. And, she gave us permission to use her music, and we will be using her music for all of our bumper music starting next week. I just want to make sure, as a matter of fact, Christian, I got to get with you maybe tomorrow and ask you what exactly do we need from her as far as permission and stuff like that that we can do. But folks, honestly, Maria Jacobs, check it out, mariajacobs.com, and find out all of her wonderful music she puts out there. And again, we're going to continue on with some of the things that you guys can do. Board games. I don't know about you. My favorite was always Monopoly. I always loved Monopoly. What was your favorite board games? Christian, what did you guys like playing when you were a kid?
Oh, man, Risk. Risk was always a fun one, but just like Monopoly, it was literally a risk,
Yeah. We liked Yahtzee. Yahtzee was awesome. It's not really a board game, I guess, but sort of.
Yeah, it is.
And we liked Monopoly, but really, Yahtzee, my kids just loved playing Yahtzee.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I loved Trouble, but the only thing is I hated Pop-O-Matic.
You just like pushing that bubble.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I love that sound. That sound, to me, was funny, and I always needed a 6. I could never get a 6 when I wanted. And I'm surprised Mike Gersh isn't on here right now giving me hell about that. He always gives me hell about old material that I do. Also, what about Operation? Remember Operation?
Yeah.
Yeah, greatest drinking game in the world. It really was.
I was going to say.
That one will give you anxiety. The other one is Perfection, where you have to put the little shapes in there before it explodes.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Perfection was good. I never liked, Happy Hippos? Never was crazy about that.
Hungry
I love
Hippos.
building.
Yeah, Hungry. That's what it was.
Hungry Hippos, yeah. I love building. So Legos were always a lot of fun. Lincoln Logs.
Lincoln Logs were good.
Oh, my God. Loved Lincoln Logs. There was a lot of other stuff that we used to have for building, engineering, building, stuff like that. I used to just love all that type of stuff. Some of the other games that we played, did you play like regular yard games like, hide and seek and
of course.
Lawn darts.
Lawn darts, yes. Which is favorite one of mine. The stories I can tell you about lawn darts. It's just how we didn't get killed. That's all I'm going to tell you. My cousin would throw the lawn dart as high as he could, and we all run for our lives because we had no idea where that thing was going to land. So, petrified about that. What other games did you guys play?
Hang on, we got a Scrabble.
A good
Life
one.
and Mystery Date.
That's a good one.
And she says, I'm aging myself. That's from Christina Delatinas.
And a good one
Christina
for
Delatinas, okay.
adults with, especially Basile's frame of mind, is a game called Cards Against Humanity. Check it out.
Why is this my frame of mind?
Oh,
why is it my frame of mind?
Because it gets dark and dirty very quick. Very quick.
Well, there you go. Basile told you why.
Yeah, well, there you go. And
there you have it.
And here in the beginning of the show, I thought you loved me. I really did. I actually got that. I got to see if my daughter Zakarula wants to come on over, and her and Katarina and I and Kula. You know what else? What was that game that you had to you have a timer and you got to write all these words down on a piece of paper? That was Scruples?
Boggle?
Might have been Boggle. Well, Ted says that you sunk his battleship.
Yeah. That was the only game that had to be modified. So when you put your ships in, you had to lock it in because before people would lie their asses off. E4 myth.
It's like the commercial, right?
Oh my God, that was hysterical. What are some of the other games I'm trying to remember? And I do remember playing with my race car set. I loved race cars and my N-Gauge train set. I am a huge train fanatic. A lot of people think I'm nuts. I have not had a setup in years, but one day I want to have a room dedicated to a huge train setup with mountains and everything. I probably have like 3 boxes of N-Gauge, and these are the small ones. Probably have a mile worth of track, and would love to actually have the time to set up, but I'm working too hard on these other projects I'm doing right now, so I just don't have the time.
If you get a chance, Google Rod Stewart's train collection and train set. It's
phenomenal. Yeah, it is.
Really?
Check that out.
Really? Okay, train set. All right. Train collection.
Yeah.
I will actually do that. It's really unbelievable.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, he's got a whole room dedicated to it.
Wow. I just love trains. There's something romantic about it that I romanticized back in the 30s and 40s, what life was like and traveling by train. To me, I always thought that was just an unbelievable way to travel. And it was the most practical way that people would travel back then. I mean, planes were out there, but they really weren't as plentiful as they are now and as large as they are now. So, and it was probably very, very expensive back in the day. I got a good friend of mine, Rick Consolo, who basically leases planes out, private planes. I mean, you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars to go from point A to point B. And some of that stuff is just ridiculously expensive, but people do it.
Well, Ted seems to think that he might know the game you were talking about that you played with your daughters. How about Scatagories?
Scatagories. That's it. Very good,
Thanks, Ted.
Scatagories. Great game. And you're under the gun trying to play that damn game. And I actually liked it. I liked it a lot. That was a fun game. Also, there's a game where you put something in your mouth that looks like a dentist would use to keep your mouth open, and you got to talk. Have you heard that one? You know which one I'm talking? It's a new game.
I'm not sure what it's called, but you're right. It's a newer game, and it's hilarious.
Oh, I think I did see that. Oh my goodness, yes.
It's like you put this plastic thing in your mouth, and it stretches your mouth like this.
Yes, I did see
and
that.
you got to.
That was horrible.
I think it's the most ridiculous thing, but it's funny to see the kids try and say something.
Yeah, I want to remind everybody: create the tallest tower or the longest bridge out of marshmallows and dry spaghetti. Take a picture. We're going to tell you where to send it next week, and Basile will judge it. And then whoever wins will win his entire library of DVDs, CDs, and a T-shirt. And I'll send you a roll of toilet paper. How about that?
Signed. It's a signed roll of toilet paper.
Yes. There you go.
There my God, I don't want to wipe my butt with that. Yeah, so make sure that you guys go ahead and do that. And the thing is, it seems like a fun thing to do.
Kind of, yeah. I think I might have to do that.
Yeah, I may try and do something like that as well. Try and put some type of a structure together.
But can we find, now we're going to be out of marshmallows
and spaghetti.
Exactly. We won't be able to find it anywhere. Well, they were having trouble with pasta in Italy, I think I heard, right?
Well, if you think about it, that's their main source of food.
They were having some trouble with that. So
yeah. And then one of my favorite types of spaghettis to eat, linguine with white garlic clam sauce.
Oh, that's probably very good.
Oh, my God, it's delicious. There used to be a place here in town called Giorgio's, and it was owned by a good friend of mine. And when Yanni left, it changed a little bit, but it was still a delicious place to go. And I'll tell you what, they would make the best linguine and clam sauce. The only problem is when you got linguine and clam sauce, it's very oily. It would splatter all over your shirt. It was the most ridiculous thing in the world. And you look like a kid, like you just finished eating a bowl of cereal. It was all over the place. But the stuff would just splat all over you. Great linguine with clam sauce. Delicious with a nice white wine. Fantastic. I miss that. Is there any meal that you're missing right now that you cannot have?
Not me.
Because of what's going on?
Not me.
Christian?
Boy, I'm trying to think. My favorite Mexican food place is only open certain days.
Certain hours and days. Yeah. I was actually thinking about going and getting some Mexican food, and I was going to check and see if they were open and doing any kind of, like not takeout. Well, maybe takeout. I don't know. Curbside? I don't know. Whatever. Yeah,
curbside. Yeah. I like any place that actually has some great guacamole. That's fresh guacamole that's made at tableside.
Yeah, so I can tell you next week if they're there or not.
Well, listen, folks, I'm glad that you joined us. Next week, don't forget, we're going to have Miss Dr. Stephanie Thomas will be with us, letting us know what's going on right now. Reminders, don't forget to listen every week on Tuesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. New York City time. We can be heard all around the world on americamatters.us. If you're using the TuneIn app, just search America Matters, and be sure to keep it on one of your favorites. Questions, comments, go to Basile Fans on Facebook. That's BASILEFANS on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, or give me a call at 77. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, that's a text number. You don't want the text number. 844-790-8255. Thanks so much for joining us. You are listening to A Pinch of Basile. Have a great night. To Basile, 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 have a great night.